Hey everyone, welcome back to BK Game Devs.
It's your boys, the BK
It's your
Game
boys.
Devs.
And we're back again, another Thursday. We're going to be doing some game development for our Metroidvania Soribel. We're ready to do a few things today actually. We are going to be working on some healing, possibly some like attacking for the player, as well as stuff like making sure the player spawns in the right place when they die. So the first thing that we're going to be doing, as you can see, is we're going to be coding. What we're going to be taking a look at today is when the player goes into any given room, their first soft checkpoint, and again, a soft checkpoint is if the player hits a hazard that causes like a fade out, but they don't die, where should they be respawned? They should respawn at the last soft checkpoint they touch. So we'll place these in the world frequently enough so that you aren't doing that thing where you die at the beginning of a room, you go through like 2 minutes of gameplay, and then you fall into a pit and end up having to do those 2 minutes again. But if the player dies right as they enter a room, they should spawn right at the start of that room. So we're going to start there. Any announcements that we have to make today? We hope you enjoyed Gaming Wednesdays. Yeah, yesterday we played Phasmophobia. That was pretty fun. There were lols all the time in chat, so that was great.
I was very scared playing that game. And I've played it so many times. That was Alex's first time. He was just sitting there stoic. Didn't move a muscle. Didn't move a muscle. Quan was just, laughing. Just laughing in our faces, commentating. And I'm just like...
Hey, thanks for the follow. Yo, we're so close. We got one more follow to go.
Yo,
we got
thanks
Coder Pause.
One more follow.
Nice.
One more follow.
One more follow. And we hit our 100 grind. Y'all are killing it.
Wait, hold on. I just realized. What happens when we, what's visually going to happen?
I don't know. Maybe something will happen with that little bar. But personally, I don't know.
But, should we physically do something when it hits 100? Should we ask chat? Should we ask chat for their input?
That's not a bad idea. But now I just don't want chat to tell me to
Listen,
crazy.
Listen. Chat requested that we turn the lights out yesterday when we were playing a ghost hunting game.
Yes, they did.
And we did it. Okay.
All right, but are they gonna get me to dab? Maybe
I'll dab. You know what I mean? I'll dab. I won't do anything insane. You know what I mean?
Enough.
What's up, Coder Pause? Thanks for following us, and thanks for your first time chat. How you doing?
Yeah.
Thanks for being one follow away from our 100th follower.
Yeah, we are on the grind, and
it sounds like you're a coder. We're coders too.
Yeah. What kind of code do you write? Are you a game developer? Are you a web developer? Are you a backend developer? We'd love to know. So Alex. So what are we taking a look at right now?
We have to set the transform soft checkpoint whenever we hit this. I think the best time is when player spawns, right?
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
So this will raise the whatever spawn event happens, but here we can also add something, and this should happen for all spawn points now.
Nice.
Where we could there's a fire truck.
We barely I heard it for like a quarter of a second. It's all good.
That's cool.
Gamer social channel. One of you posted in a gamer social channel.
Oh, that's me. Yeah. I posted in the gamer social channel at work. Hey, it's great to see you. It's awesome. It's great to see people from work. We have a work channel where we talk about games, gaming, and all that kind of stuff. And I just put a plug in there for anyone who might be down for it. So thanks for showing up. We really appreciate the follow and the support. Thanks so much.
So now at least I have an idea of what you do for work.
Right?
Yeah, I think this would do it. I'm pretty sure this would do
it.
So
I think so too. So what's going to happen now?
Let me just double check.
Sure.
Yeah, it's applied to all spawn points. So
okay.
Let me go ahead and just give it a shot.
Yeah, and make sure you die without touching the spawn point. Yeah, that's the important part. Or another soft checkpoint. Again, so what's happening here is when we want to happen is when the player enters any room and they see how the player spawned at that location.
Right here.
Their last checkpoint should be set to that spawn position.
It should have been here, right? So let me avoid the other spawn points. They already get around. Oh, okay.
No, so I say just yeet the player through the scene view and just just pull them through the floor.
I could just disable
that soft checkpoint. Yeah.
Because then
So,
otherwise, I don't think yeeting is going to work with the fall velocity issue.
Sure, fair enough.
Yeah.
That works. Nice. So again, so what happens there is the players now, whenever they enter a room, their checkpoint is set to like the spawn of their room. So if they die without touching another kind of soft checkpoint, then they'll be good. Again, a soft checkpoint is invisible in the world. You won't see it. It's just a like invisible thing for us to keep track of where the player is and where they'll spawn without it being too annoying. But go ahead, Alex.
No, I was gonna say after stream last time, I made changes to like it was acting weird and buggy. So now everything works. In fact, there's like a whole transition, like the whole
notice there's a whole fade out.
So that's working. I think there might have been one other thing, but I think it was mostly that.
Oh, and it seems to be working after you get hit more than once.
We had last time. I don't think we had it before either, but like the health is also being properly removed.
Yeah, I can see the hearts are dropping as well, which I know is corresponding to the heart. Thanks. Yeah, the animations actually. We got some free assets that we're using at the moment they're really good. They look really clean and tight. We are going to be getting more art as things go, and we will be, we're actually in the process of designing our main character. We can't show off anything yet, but we are doing some concept design, some character design, and we plan to have really smooth animations, really clean movement. As you see here, the sprite sheet it could be a basis for the kind of, movement that we want. We do want the clean dash, the after images, the wall jumps.
Also, we're basically just prototyping what we want it to look like using free assets that we found on the internet. And like Quan said, we're in the concept art stage and we're going to basically recreate the animations at some point.
Yep. And Alex, I noticed a bug the other day. I don't know if it was just me.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Also, for everyone who hasn't seen, these are the rooms that we built out. I know it looks pretty...
Right, we were supposed to last week, aka last year, we were supposed to show this off, but we didn't have time because it was the end of the year and we were doing other stuff. But yeah, this is the rest of the cave scenes that we have tested out and prototyped.
Yep.
So Alex is just going through them now.
Flying through right there.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say, if you try and dash while on the floor, what you'll notice is the player will get there won't be any after images from what I've seen. Okay, all right. No, all right, then ignore me. It means that it was my code. On the last time I opened Unity, but like maybe 4 or 5 days ago or something, I tried to dash on the floor and there were no after images. But okay, we're all good. But yeah, so with this, then we can take a look at.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah, that's exactly what.
It looks like I think something here is.
Oh, see, what is happening?
See, like it's like the.
Is it like the background is it like a z-index thing or something?
Yeah, it looks like whatever's here is.
Which is weird. It's interesting.
It could be because the after images are not on the same layer.
Got it. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Where's after? I think it's a prefab, right? Because what layer are we on? 1?
We're on layer 1. I think it's what the player is on. Yeah.
Prefabs after image. Yeah, it's on 0.
Okay, got it.
So if we
nice.
Again.
Cool. Yeah, let's take a look because I had noticed that and I thought it was something.
Yeah,
there we go. Nice. Okay, cool. Fixed. Burning through code. So now we have an option. What do we take a look at next, right? Do we take a look at healing? So maybe we'll map a button where when the player takes like damage, they'll be able to heal, 1 heart of damage, or do we want to try and take a look at attacking?
We could just start with the healing real quick.
We should do the healing because we're kind of working on the health system anyway.
Cool. All right, sounds good.
Works
you said you added a little art thing?
Yes, it is nothing too crazy. I made it in a little bit of time. If you go to art and then go to items.
Oh, items.
I called it green orb large and green orb. They're the same ratio. I just one is larger, one is smaller. I say go to 32 by 32. I think it'll be fine. And yeah, so we'll just go into sprite editor. Let's do the normal thing, and we're gonna cut this up into 16 by 16 pieces.
Sure.
And then yeah, no problem. And what just so I can explain once. That's okay. It's 16.
16.
Yep. Yeah, it's actually 16 because we're gonna cut it up into tiles, multiple. Point we want.
No filter and none for compression.
Yep, apply, hit sprite editor, and so what you're going to see here is it looks pretty weird, but it's 4 of the same sprite with different things, because in this game what we're going to do is what we're saying is that every shard makes up an orb, right? Is that what we're saying? Is that how
I don't know if that's how we were going to do it.
Hold on, Quan. So you put a graphic together, and we put it on stream last week, and maybe you could pull that up so we could finalize that again.
I don't remember.
Sure, maybe it's in an art channel. It should be in one of the art channels. It's fine. Hold on, let me pull it up on my phone, because it could be that I forgot, because there's so many things we did. I probably just forgot, to be completely honest.
It's not in the art channel. Maybe it's in the streaming channel.
It may be in the streaming channel. Sorry for everyone who's watching. We have tons of channels in Discord to manage all the stuff we do. Art ends up in many channels at once, so sometimes it gets hard to find. Is it in streaming or no?
No, it was not. Brainstorming, maybe?
Yeah, maybe
brainstorming.
Okay, nice. Yes.
Yeah, we've been doing a lot of Discord reorganized.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we chose the bottom one, right? That's what we did?
Yes.
All right. There we go. So my brain had the top one in mind.
But you know what? For now, though, we could use this version of it until
No. I actually have a better idea, because there is a sprite that still works. That's perfectly fine. So ignore the sprite that I have.
Okay.
Go to ignore it. Go to DG New Colors, and if you go to Art and then go to Backgrounds, or not backgrounds. Which one is it? Sure, yeah. In this one, there is one of the sprites that is just in it's just in like a gem. If you see it in the middle left, if you just up, that. I'm saying that's just like a gem. So we could just use 3 of those as like shards for right now.
Sure.
And then that'll be that, right?
Yeah, why not? Let's call this. What did we do here? Let's call this health shards.
Sure.
How am I positioning this person? Position it like that. It's the size. I wonder if I could
looking at some of our old meeting notes from a few weeks ago to see what we discussed on that.
On the healing?
Yeah.
So now that I'm looking at the graphic, I'm pretty sure we went with each shard is a single heal. And you can get them and they recharge almost at the healing points. Now we won't do that yet.
Maybe I think we said that each orb is a heal, but an orb consists of shards.
-60.
I think that's what we said. Pretty sure.
so then that means it's more like the one that I built.
I know.
There's 2 options, and I don't remember which. So you're saying that's what we said in our Discord? Because I don't remember right now.
Not orbs. We said gems. So we said health system. We said health system brainstorm. The health slots are your actual health. The health gems are used to restore your health, and the gems are made of shards, which can be collected to maximize your gems.
Okay, so then it's okay. I got it. I understand. So I think I got it. I think what we're saying then is this, right? And it's probably confusing everyone on stream.
That's okay. We do need to flesh this out for ourselves. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So here's what I think we're actually doing. Now let's still implement it maybe as a single heal right now.
We could do that.
But I think what we're doing is a mix of the 2. So what it really is you in the world, in the game, as you run around, right? Maybe you'll find 3 gem shards that will give you 1 gem, which is a 1 heart heal, is I think what we're gonna do. So it's still difficult, but not painstaking. Correct. But there won't be many gem shards in between 2 rest points. So once you do run out, you will have to make it to a rest point to recharge your current gems for healing.
It's literally it's a mixture of both, I think.
Okay, yeah, but I'm saying for right now, since we don't have the shard thing, I mean, we could technically use the orb thing that I drew, but then we would have to have 3 of them, and
no, I think that's fine. I think
that works.
If anything, the orb thing, just gonna call it the orb thing.
The orb thing, yeah.
That could be used for now as like whenever we get a new shard. Like,
we'll just change the sprite. That was my idea.
Like it pops up in front of them.
Exactly, yeah. And then if you look at the art that I put in the other piece of art that I told you to ignore, which we're now not going to ignore, what you're going to see is that there's a piece of art there. It has 4 parts. There's one where it's empty, one where it's filled with 1, 2, and 3. And so the idea is then, as the player is running around, we'll just switch out the sprite, but what will really happen is, if you go to sprite editor.
Wait, did I?
Yeah,
you not split them? Oh wait, I never split them.
No, you didn't.
Automatic?
Yeah, so in sprite editor, you can do it 16 by 16.
I have one concern.
Yeah, go for it.
No concerns here.
There are always concerns. This, I guess UI reminds me of Breath of the Wild, but it's not Breath of the Wild because it's not stamina. It's health. It's health. This looks a lot like the stamina wheel from Breath of the Wild.
Well, this is a sort of for now thing anyway, right?
I think that we're going to change the design to make them gems. I literally did it like at maybe.
No, I know.
Before, but yeah,
even if it's the design, I'm talking about the mechanic itself. If we're talking about like if it's an orb that's broken into pieces, that okay.
Yeah, so I'm saying it's going to eventually be a gem, and it won't be a stem, and like it won't be like the stamina wheel where.
It won't be a wheel, like it's okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's different enough. I think it's fine.
It's like 3 or 4 pieces that you need to get in order to be able to heal. Is that what we're saying?
Yes, exactly. So what we're saying is you need to get 3 shards to complete, as of right now, the orb thing, right? And then you get a 1 heart heal.
So are we saying that you can't heal yourself if your gem is not completed?
Correct. That's
tough. That's tough.
That is what we said. Yeah, it is going to be.
Wait,
that's why
I'm confused. So the orbs, like you still get them, right? You still like maybe start off with 3 or something, right?
Yes.
But like it's like the shards are more so for the purpose of increasing your max.
Okay.
Oh, no. Okay. So now we're all in different places. Okay, so let me explain what I meant. Because I think, yes, we should have a way for them to increase the amount of orb things, right, that they can hold, the amount of orbs. But I think what I'm saying is this. The game starts right now, you're in level 1, right? You're in the first, like, section of the game.
Yeah.
You have 3 full orbs, so effectively you can think of it as you have 9 shards, right?
Yes.
But what happens is now you heal once. Let's say you took a heart of damage, you use 1 whole orb, so you use 3 shards to heal your 1 heart. To get that heal back, you'll have to, in the world, find 3 shards to reform that orb. Or, when you get to a rest station, it refills as well. That's what I thought we meant.
I don't know if we should do it that way.
Okay, so what are you thinking? Because
I think it should be more like if you find a shard, it's permanently added on to like your max, like healing capability.
3, right?
Okay, so then you want it more like Zelda, where like you find like heart pieces, and
like heart pieces.
You find a heart piece.
Heart piece feels like a heart container, which it's not gonna be like a heart container. It's gonna be
Yeah, I
more
get
like
you.
an
A gem
orb
container.
that lets you heal.
Sure. Okay, got it. Makes
I think
sense.
that's better because that could be like really, really annoying.
I think, and honestly, we could still have a mechanism, like say on maybe easy mode, right? To to find like sort of refill maybe one or so whenever you find this thing, like one whole orb, right? Not like shards. It's just increasing the max. But say on normal mode, you have to rely on resting points.
What do you mean?
Like level of difficulty would dictate whether you can even find heals between resting points, like extra heals to like replenish.
Okay.
Not just you could still increase your max, but I'm talking about like whether you can replenish between.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because I think that's what we had sort of agreed upon, right?
Yeah, and so I think what we're getting at is now a mix of the both. So a mix of both. So what I said is, you need 3 shards to refill 1 orb to use it again for a heal, but we'll also have a mechanic that lets you find, let's say, again, I'm going to just use the Zelda term, right? So let's say you find not a gem shard, but like a gem container piece. I know it's a weird name. And if you find, X of this key item, you'll get an extra whole orb. So now from 9 shards, effectively, you have 12 shards.
All right, hold on, guys, 1 second.
Sure.
We have been having a back and forth with ourselves about gems and orbs and shards, and it might be a little confusing. So, chat, do you guys know what we're talking about? And
Facts.
Do you have any opinions?
Doesn't matter.
Any questions? any concerns? Any concerns? Any questions? Because
it may be confusing.
Because we always love suggestions, and if it's confusing, we could clarify. Because this is actually a pretty important mechanic to our game.
Yeah,
we're taking influence from multiple games right now, but we don't want it to be too complicated. The simpler was better, says Roy Koo. Okay.
Oh, also, thanks to Workle, first time chat. Awesome.
Thank you for that. All right, so the simpler was better.
Okay, so then.
What is so?
Which one was the simpler? I mean, we'll definitely take suggestions and
sure. And then we'll go back and think about it. But the simpler is just one, like, let's say orb is not made of shards. It's just a heal. Now we can adjust that. But I say for right now on stream, we can come back to it. Let's just make it that right now. Just you have let's just use the gem from the other sprite sheet, not mine. Let's just make it 1 gem, 1 heal.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, we could still use that orb image, the full orb image. I don't think that's an issue. I think it's really a matter of should we be able to get a max, increase the max whenever we find an orb, or increase the max whenever we find 3 shards. I think that's what the simpler was better.
Right, because I'm personally still on board with that idea. I think what we were disagreeing on was whether or not you could.
This is on player health change.
I guess replace the shards. I think that's what we were saying.
Yeah, I think that we should go back and figure this out because we're all a bit confused. So I have
a good image in my head, but we have to explain it afterwards, probably.
Yeah, I think that we should come back to it. For now, I think let's just make, again, like a 1 shot, 1 heal. Because again, we're still going to need that functionality regardless.
Absolutely. I agree.
So yeah, I say let's use the sprite from the other sprite sheet, the one that I didn't make. Or if you want to use the orb, then what we should do is then each time you use a heal, let's just change the sprite of the orb. So now the orb will be broken into 3 shards, and for now we'll call each shard a heal. Again, we'll probably change this and change the graphics and change all that stuff a bit later, but for right now we definitely just need how do I heal my heart?
So Royku says if you can get confused thinking of a mechanic, then the player gets confused too.
Exactly, yeah.
This is true. True.
Completely true. We want it to be clear and easy.
But also, we could have a good idea on our hands. We just need more time to think about it.
Yeah, I think we need to we have a good idea, and it'll be challenging enough because the way that like our health system is not super complicated. It's that we're getting confused and we each have like different ideas for the same thing, or like a different implementation of a similar thing. Once we get it down right and say it in like a one sentence thing, I don't think it'll be that confusing. I think that we're tripping each other up.
Yep.
Hey. We made 100 followers.
Oh, it was Roiku. Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Hey, Roiku says, "Bam." The 100 followers, we made the goal, y'all. Thank you so much. We've been working on this. We've been grinding on it. Hit 100 followers. It's lit.
Yo, let's get some bing bongs in the chat.
Yes, let's get some bing bongs, some yurs.
Let's get some yurs.
Roiku, 100 followers.
Let's go.
Ben Rafflecopter, bing bong, and then we didn't tell everyone. Yes,
victory.
Byron. Good old Final Fantasy VII. We have sound alerts in.
We do have sound alerts,
and we now have a bing bong sound alert. So you could, for 100 channel points, you can get the bing bong. Just spam bing bong into the stream. It'll be great.
Spam it.
And again, if you don't know how to use the sound alerts, at the bottom of chat, there's a little like circle button that if you hover on it, it says channel points. If you click there, you can redeem your channel points to like just spam different sounds the way that Techno just hit a victory alert.
That's awesome.
That's dope, yo. Thank you so much to everyone again. Without your support, we would not have hit the 100 follower goal. We have now made it. It's lit. Bing yes, bong. And Roiku hits us with the bing bong.
Yeah, I can hear it all. Let's see.
Bing bong.
Bing bong. I love it.
Bing bong.
That's great.
This is great. Definitely much appreciated. We've been trying to get to that goal for a while.
Thank you for another bing bong. Bless.
Thank you guys
so much. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
We appreciate it. We're taking this idea and we're making it a reality. And this is the start. This is the start. And Roiku, we're happy that you were number 100.
Yeah.
How did you hear about our channel?
Yeah, that's what I'm always curious about too, right? How did you find us? Did you hear from a friend, or you someone we like know but don't know their stream name, or did you just happen to find us on Twitch or Instagram or Twitter and be like, hey, let me go and check it out? We'd love to know.
Because recently we've been like really trying very hard to up the interaction. We really want to build a community here, and we've been trying really hard to what I just said, basically.
yeah, we have been pushing those goals and pushing our followers. Okay, all right. You're also a streamer. Nice. What kind of stuff you stream?
We will check you out too.
Yeah, for sure.
Check you out too. Oh, you are an artist, gamer, and developer. That is the perfect person to stream. To follow. You try to do game dev. That's nice.
Nice. Awesome.
We're trying to.
It's good to find more game devs. It's great.
Honestly, guys, Roiku just deserved a shout out from Nightbot.
Honestly. Oh wow, drawing a manga too.
You're drawing like a whole wow. That's awesome.
That is dope.
That's awesome. Everyone go follow.
Yeah, go follow Roiku for manga.
This was our 100th follow. This is very special.
For sure.
Seems like a very talented individual. So go do that.
And as we talk, Alex is doing his
I just saw Roiku get a follow. I just saw Roiku get a follower right when I clicked on their profile. That's awesome.
Nice.
There you go.
Should. Or I don't know how you pronounce it. As they should. Health slots initialized.
We're gonna follow you too.
My health slot?
Thanks, Roiku. Appreciate all the support. Wholesome content is wholesome. All right, yes. So, Alex, what are you doing here? I see the health orbs change. I remember we created this health controller to, oh no, this is a health orb controller, so specifically for the orbs.
It's pretty much like the state controller. This is just sort of for prototyping.
Sure.
There's definitely going to be refactoring for this, like where this should go. But I just
Sure,
need
yeah, I
a place
understand.
to what key should we use?
You're welcome. We appreciate it.
Let's see, if I'm on my arrow keys or WASD and I want to heal, I feel like, and I'm jumping with, for me, I use the arrow keys and I use
Think about it.
X and I use C and V to dash. I think maybe H. Or like shift button.
I'm gonna look up the controls for some of the different platformers.
Yeah, I'm so used to using a controller with my computer or just being on a console. So like
that's true.
It's like often. It's not often these days. I just like
orbs.
go straight, keyboard. That's back when I was on Visual Boy Advance for all the emulators out there.
I think it's probably going to be similar to this, really. This apply.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty much the same thing. I was thinking the same thing, and then instead of apply health slots, it'll be apply health shards, orbs, or let's call it orbs for right now.
Yeah. This is really to like thing. To update it, right? Apply health orbs.
Yep.
So Hollow Knight's interesting. Hollow Knight's interesting. There's on PC the default bindings is not like movement is not WASD, by the way.
What is it?
It's arrow keys, and like focusing like your soul is A.
Okay.
That makes
sense. That makes sense.
That actually makes sense if you're using arrow keys. I'm used to WASD when I play.
Oh really? Okay.
I see.
I've always been arrow keys because I'm right-handed, so
I'm also right-handed. I'm also right-handed.
I'm used to WASD too, but I just don't like using my left hand because I want my left hand for like attacking. I don't know.
Hold on, gamepad is great for platformers, Metroidvanias. That's good to know. So
it definitely is.
Okay, so I guess we should develop with that in mind. All right.
Yeah. Best control. I think, and we can adjust our inputs later. So like, we can have it be whatever it is on keyboard, and then for controller we can change it up. And we can do
this is just about
controller, Xbox controller.
This is all about logic. We could work about we could work in the inputs later on.
No, the lefty Ben Rafflecop, the lefties matter. I totally feel you. So the IJKLs of the world.
Oh yeah, so absolutely. So in our last game, Wake Up, we actually have a whole. Do we have this in this game? We have like a whole utilities folder, I think, for inputs. I don't know if we did it yet.
No, we're not going to do it in here because we're going to be using the newer input manager, which handles like all these different types of layouts.
Yeah, so we're going to be using a different input manager, but what we had before was basically we were accounting for lefties as well. Yeah,
for sure. And again, once it's on a controller, then lefty or righty, it won't really matter. So we should probably do that whenever we drop a, what would we gonna call it? I guess whenever we drop a demo, beta, whatever the case is, and if we have the game controls, we can then please focus also on keyboard management.
This is good to know. We appreciate the feedback.
Very fair point from Royko too, which I think is very good. For accessibility, it is also nice to make a certain amount of redefinable keys. Now that might be tough, but we'll look into it for sure, because I've seen games where like you can change, for example, the simple stuff like, let's say you're flying a plane and you want to invert the camera control. So instead of it being like up goes up, then up goes down, based on your preference. As well as like, I think that like even Hollow Knight, Dead Cells, I think they had different like playstyle modes where you can remap your buttons. Like I prefer this is attack instead of the default button. So definitely good things to keep in mind. Thanks, Royko.
That's a good thing. Yeah, when I play most like FPS games on PC, they have different like key mappings for different play styles. So that's that's definitely something that we should put into the notes. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll take a note of that. Don't worry.
part of me just wants to use the same stuff here.
But yeah, should it be A? You know what? Let's make healing A. And you want to know why? I just rested my hand on my computer, and if my hands are on the arrow keys, and then X and C or C and V, like in that area, for me, my ring finger can hit A quite easily, or we can make it Z, where now it's all in the same row of keys. That way, that any action is just, as of right now, on the same row. Yeah, that's just something to think about.
Yeah, like you said, there's a tutorial somewhere for redefinable keys. Yeah, that's good to know.
I'm sure on a YouTube they have one. Yeah, because many games will use that, so it's important.
Okay, good to know.
All right, so
we're using H for now for applying health.
Yeah, this is so gonna be refactored.
Yeah,
absolutely. This is just for like basic logic.
I don't even like I don't even like the way I'm doing it. I'm just kind of I'm copying over logic, but
There's no worries. We'll refactor it. Yeah, are you okay with changing it to A or Z? Just because I think that it'll make more sense. Are we
using for Z for anything?
I don't think so. I think right now we're using C for dash, V for slide, and space for jump, and that's it right now.
Okay.
I was thinking in the future, maybe, you know what, maybe, yeah, do A. I'll tell you why. Maybe all the attack buttons and like ability buttons will be on the bottom. So maybe like C is dash, V is slide, X is attack, and Z is shoot or something. And then on a second row, A, you have like heal, and then maybe if we have something else for other support.
Have we been only using arrow keys, by the way, for movement?
I think we're using both because we're using input.horizontal and input. Oh, so will A count as right? Because that counts as horizontal, right?
No.
Because of a WASD?
Roiku asked if we have something playable yet. We have been streaming the development of this game for only about 2 months, and we do weekly streams with some development in between. So it's in the very, very beginning stages. At some point, we will be putting up. I don't know if we're going to be using itch.io for this, for dev builds, dev builds, so that we can have people test stuff out and give us feedback. We're probably going to have a system for certain people who are subscribed to have certain features. We're going to figure that out at some point, but I think before we get to that point, we're going to have just in general people test it out and give us feedback before we get to that point, but before we get to like early access stuff. But yeah, we're definitely going to use itch.io.
Yep.
And our code is, we use GitHub, I believe.
Yeah, we just use Git, and
we use GitHub and
Azure for our storage and stuff. But again, that's more managerial. But
yeah.
But if you do want to know, feel free to ask us.
Yeah, feel free to ask us about our development process. It's getting prototypes up quick is good. Yeah, that's a good point.
That's why we've taken the time right now to build out. So in Metroidvania, you usually have biomes, right? You have these different like whole sections that usually have different like themes or looks and stuff. And so we built out the initial version of one of our biomes, which is our smallest one at the moment. And so I think once we figure out just some basic stuff like health, figuring out attacking, putting some basic enemy AI, I think that'll be in a playable enough state that we can put that out as just a feeler, like not even, a demo even, it's more so just, do the controls feel tight? Does the gameplay feel good? Is the player too quick or they're too slow?
Yep.
So and that shouldn't be too far off for us. Maybe another 2 months, maybe another month.
Yeah, and in the first few weeks, we spent time in a sandbox scene in Unity, not in the cave scene. The sandbox scene was not intended to be in the game. It was meant to be for testing out all player abilities. So jumping, double jumping, wall jump, wall slide,
dash,
the dash after effect.
Yep.
And we're also going to be using that for enemies, enemy AI, combat. We're literally going to be testing everything related to the player in there. So that's basically our prototype. And then I guess what we're going to do is for, I guess, our first dev build, we will, once we have everything that Quan just described, we're going to have a finished cave scene, cave biome,
Yep.
with a player that has pretty much tight, finalized abilities, with some enemies that have some pretty basic AI. And you could get from the beginning of the biome to the end of the biome, maybe pick up an ability or two, maybe beat a boss. And yeah, that's our dev. That's our very basic prototype that we were thinking.
Even before the boss, like just
not even a boss, maybe just a couple enemies. The boss might be pushing it.
Yeah, because the boss means
pushing it.
Yeah, I think so. I think let's just put out like again, we will finalize it, but we'll get an early build that just is movement, attacking, just for everyone to get a feel and see if does it feel right, and then we'll adjust as we get the feedback.
And this is all before we actually put the actual art in for the game, because this is all just bare bones. Like we're feeling out like what we want the players' abilities and just a feel for the game to look like.
Yep. Yeah. So Alex, what's going on here? I see you're in the health orb controller. We're just doing a similar thing to what we did for the health, where on start the health orbs will fire an event that will just initialize based on the player's amount of health orbs. Is that what's going to be happening?
For the most part.
Okay, cool.
Let me look at what I'm doing with player. I'm initializing this, which is what is this event on player health change?
On player health change is when they take damage. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Or it's after. It's whatever state.
Oh, okay, yeah.
After.
So like after they take damage, it'll update to 2, and yeah, I remember.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Wait, you said on player health changed or on player health slots changed?
It's on player health slots changed. So this is after the actual thing, whether it's damage or healing is applied.
Because damage or healing. Okay,
yeah, because on player health
sense.
slots apply is actually what applies damage or healing.
Right. Okay.
On player health orbs.
Because it could be one or the other.
Because the changed events are really for like other things, right? Like UI to update after the fact. So here on here, we're gonna do this. I wonder if I really need to do this part though.
Which is
because it's itself. I don't think I need to really create an event for it. No, I do need to create an event for it, but
wait, one more time. Explain what. So this health orb controller, when health orbs are initialized, it will initialize itself with what?
No, just the amount of health orbs, and then it's the same for here.
Okay, so it will apply it where on start it'll apply it from 0 to 3.
This. So the events are really thank you, Raikou.
It's got a good little foundation. Yeah, I think we got a good foundation too. We also have like a pretty good story that we're developing that we haven't shared a lot of because we don't want to reveal a lot. We also have a general idea for a character. We have a character name, Soribel, and that is our working title as well. The character is influenced by Afro-Latina origin. So we are happy to
41.
Release that information as well. So we do think that we have a good foundation for this project, and we are excited to move forward with it.
Let's see if that's to cause the Stack Overflow.
It seems. Oof. It seems that an ad is about to start, y'all. Just so y'all know.
Apply.
Got it.
I wish we had a way to see that through stream.
No, I know what I accidentally did. These it is creating. It's not supposed to. I wasn't supposed to do it to this. I was supposed to do it to this. I was supposed to update the sprite count. Like this is meant to update the sprite count, not
the sprites. Okay, not itself, not the actual like
because then like if it changed and then it just applied that same change to it. It was an infinite loop just now.
I get you. Yeah, I understand. It keeps applying it to itself, and then when it applies it to itself, it applies it to itself. Oh, no.
No. Yes, it's a null reference.
Okay, and null is better than Stack Overflow infinite loops. That's good.
I guess. Hold on. Maybe I didn't do this right. So, what's nulling out? Health orbs?
You got a breakpoint?
26 image transforms. Image transforms equal to new list.
Image transforms are the locations of each of the sprites on the UI, right?
I don't know why it's doing this. Maybe I think I know why it's doing this. I think it's just like I really should just start making a habit. I mean, we don't normally do this, but we should just like normally people, I feel like you don't see many constructors being made for mono behaviors, but I just do it because it's like literally the first thing I wanted to do when it's created, rather than like on awake on start. So then there's no like before or after.
I get you. Roku is not a fan of Unity. Roku because of all the errors in the log, which makes sense. Oh, the player's just taking damage and losing.
No, it's not. It's
you're pressing the button. Got it. What do you use for game dev at a Roku? I assume Unreal Engine maybe, or maybe something else like.
There's definitely a lot of options.
GameMaker, yeah, there's tons of options.
Unity is definitely not the only option.
No, that's for sure.
Okay, so here's what's going on. Right?
Yep.
So A is actually also key because we're using horizontal. We're not using left key,
That's
right
what
key.
I thought. I said, so let's make it Z or something then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was going to happen, where as soon as you move with WASD, you're going to like heal yourself. So for right now, let's keep it as Z. I think that's fine.
Well, one of the things that we should do at some point is prevent healing. Oh, you know what? If player, I get so annoyed. I wasn't annoyed, but when I was playing Dandara, sometimes I would accidentally heal myself even though I didn't need it. It doesn't block you from healing yourself if you don't need it. I guess that's the same for Dark Souls. So I don't mind keeping the fact, like, you know. Okay, let me see what happens here.
Yeah. So how do you feel about that, Chris? That's pretty funny.
Let me see what happens here.
What are we feeling about?
Sorry.
So if you have 3 hearts, right? If you have max health,
correct.
Should the game let you heal and waste your thing, or
no? Absolutely not.
So you're not a fan of that mechanic?
No. No, that's savage. But also,
I mean,
games do that.
In most games, in a Zelda, you can use your thing and just.
But I know that, but I get pissed off in games like that.
I'm trying to think, because I don't know if I do get pissed off, but it sometimes
it's like a laugh at yourself.
Yeah, it's like, dang, I really shouldn't have tried to heal when I had max health.
Hold on a sec. Sure. I have a happy medium. Okay. How about if you're at full health and you go to use an orb, it'll kind of just be like, think about just-in-time instructions sort of thing. It'll just be like, are you sure about that?
Nah. I'm trying to have.
The thing is, it's not always immediate. Like it is possible to, because, you know, for example, with Dandara or even Ender Lilies, like, you could cancel out of it because it takes a moment to really like do it.
Oh, I get what you mean.
Okay.
So kind of like how, whereas like let's say like Hollow Knight, you have to focus for like a second or two before you actually do the heal.
Yeah, exactly.
It's instant heal.
All right, in Hollow Knight, I think it's acceptable because, like, I don't know, that's just like part of the mechanic of the game. It's like I screw up a lot in Hollow Knight when it's just like, oh, I shouldn't have focused my soul there because I didn't have enough, and like I should have waited. I should have waited.
Personally, though, I do like the idea of like a delay before you actually get the heal, because it sort of it kind of adds challenge to certain enemies where, like, okay, I gotta find like a certain moment of time where I can actually do this. It's not immediate. I do enjoy that part of like fighting enemies. Like, it gives me that
it makes it more real almost. Even though it's a game, it's like you have to find time to heal. You know what I mean? Whereas like now, again, no shade on a Breath of the Wild, but in Breath of the Wild, you can
wait, you could just keep eating.
Right? Yeah, you can get hit for 20 hearts, pause the game, Link magically eats all his food, and now you're back at a full health.
Yeah, but that's a different. I don't know. That's a different mechanic.
It's healing.
I know, but it's a different mechanic, because you could just be like, I'm healing for 20 hearts. In our game, we're saying one orb can heal a heart. 1 heart.
Yep.
And that's it.
I hear you. I hear you. But yeah, sure. I think for now, fine.
Anyway, we could decide that in the future.
Oh, you know what? You see, so now Ben Roethlisberger makes a fun little. See, Lazy Leaf has the real answer. No healing ever. No, it's not Dark Souls.
Ben Roethlisberger says. Ben Roethlisberger said, if anything, you guys could put a notification. I'm at full health, or have Soda Bell shake their head no.
I think that's more fun, because
nice.
I've seen. So if there's one thing that Dead Cells does well, is their character is very, like, they have a big personality. So like they'll like shake their head and like shrug their shoulders and like make like joke faces almost because of how things happen in the game. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we don't let them heal, but instead of like telling them no, Sorbo would just be like, nah, and just like do like some kind of like funny like shrug animation. And then Worko says, will there be a side effect to healing, like from a piece of equipment or some perk? Like every time you heal, something else activates. At the moment, no. It's just for health. We do have plans for other kinds of abilities that may do things like affect some sort of a perk for a certain amount of time, but that would not be tied to healing at the moment.
Right. That's really funny, Lazy Leaf. That's sure.
Only through a violence. Not this time. You got to get to a rest station or find your.
Well, I mean,
I'm pretty sure Bloodborne was a huge inspiration, like that mechanic in of getting soul, or I guess not soul. Hollow Knights, whatever it is you consume when you get soul, right?
That's what I was gonna say. I
believe Bloodborne was a huge inspiration for
Hollow Knight. That's actually something I love about Hollow Knight, that you just have to, like, through violence, that's how you heal.
yeah.
I do enjoy that part.
Part of me wants like to have some type of mechanic in our game like that in some way, but I don't know how we would do it.
So I think so. A lot of games do it. It's just not always tied to healing. What you could do is have a different. So maybe you have hearts, you have the orbs for healing, and maybe again, let's say the player gets magic. Maybe what you do is you just tie one bar or some sort of ability or whatever that has like a expendable amount of something to violence. Like you can be like, you only gain magic in this game through violence, or you only. Or maybe like even this, you could say, let's say the shards that give you, or whatever item that will give you more orbs for healing, you only they're let me stop and start over.
Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe this could not be connected to healing at all. This could be connected to the abilities, like what you said with the like the magic bars, or like a stamina bar or something. Like
yeah. I think that could work. But then that means every time you change, it may change what you're getting from the violence. But what I was going to say is...
We also don't need to use the word violence. We could just say from attacking, by the way.
I think violence sounds more fun.
All right, fine.
The violence. No, it's fine. But anyway, I'm saying, so what if instead of finding like a heart container type objects where each one, if you find, 3, you get an extra orb, what if the lore of the game is like, you can only create these orbs through like the essence of your enemies. So you'll only get a new orb after killing like 500 enemies in game. And so now it's like a challenge thing. So you're almost incentivized to just kill more enemies to try and grind for like essence to create another healing slot.
What if it's hold on. It's both.
Okay, both.
Because wait. You could. That's another way to find shards. That's how you find shards.
Wait, I mean, but how does killing all the enemies help you find shards?
Because I don't know. Like you find the shard. Like okay, so maybe there's like this. I don't know. There's this realm or something where the shards are, and think about in like Resident Evil where you need to there's like this. I'm trying to remember Resident Evil 2, I think it is, where in the store, like there's a storage locker in like the very beginning of the game, and you could see there's like all of these like these upgrades that you can get in the very beginning of the game, and you could come back to them, but you don't have like the buttons to get to them, right? The only way to get them is by exploring the game, right? To come back to them. So put it in that aspect, right? And be like, okay, the only way to get the shards is by killing 500, by killing 1,000. So once you get that, let's say you get like a scroll or whatever, you have to come back, you get the shard.
And so I'm saying that could work, but there's a bit of a disconnect that killing the enemies gives you a scroll. But now here's an idea, right? I'm not saying
like necessarily a scroll, it's a shard.
Sure. And so I'm saying, what if instead it's like we give the character some sort of like, again, it's like a key item that they can't use, but it's like a vial, right? Each time you kill an enemy, each enemy will fill that vial with some amount of essence, of their like health essence or their life essence or whatever. And after you kill 500 enemies, we'll call that vial full, and you can now that becomes a shard or something. Like you take it to a shop, and it's like, okay, you have enough essence from the enemies. Like I can actually craft this into a shard for you. And then maybe you do that 3 times to get another orb of health. Who knows?
Yeah, I think that's effectively the same. That's okay. I think that's effective. I think that's effectively the same idea.
Sure. But I think it's a good risk reward where like it's not free, you still have to work for your upgrades, and then
thanks for the follow, 101.
Thanks for the follow, 101. Nifihi.
I'm not even going to try.
Yeah. Thank you for the follow. We're at 101, so now our math is off. We're at 101 of 100. That's what I like to see.
I'll make a new one at some point.
I was going to say, I'll actually just do it now. Do you want to make our next goal as a 150? I think that's a good next goal to go for. I think that we can do that, right?
Follower overload is right.
Follower overload for sure.
I think it's nice too.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, just keep the 101, right?
Yo, you guys are killing it, and we love this. Yeah, we love this interaction right here because you guys kind of just led to us having a good discussion just now.
You mentioned Godot, right? Godot.
Godot, yeah.
You know, it's a game engine I've seen, and I don't know what it is about it, but I have been hesitant to try it out.
Isn't that an open source game engine?
It's open source.
I love open source in general. It's just a great concept.
Yeah, I've heard of a Godot. I've heard some good things. I just learned Unity first, so it's just what I've been sticking to.
Yeah,
I know
that's kind of like where I'm at as well.
There's no issue against anything else. I know that Unreal is cool, but I actually actively avoid Unreal. Not because it's not super powerful. Unreal is written all in the language C++, which is hellish to me. I do not like that language. It is not fun to me. So I probably will not be hitting Unreal for a while.
The whole blueprints concept kind of confused me when I first looked into it.
I don't even know what that is. But hey, I hear you.
But like, it's not like I'm unfamiliar with C++.
No, Lazy Leaf, not C Gang. No. There is slander,
career-wise, I'm all C#, so.
C# is like the love child between Java and C++. C++ is just like, I'm good. I did that for 2 years in college, and I don't want to ever do it again. I'll do C# every day. Yeah, Lazy Leaf got me dead. No, look, C slander, okay? We do not rep C in these streets. We rep C#, JavaScript. HTML, CSS, the web languages. Got it. So Go Godot supports C# as well. Okay, cool.
Oh yeah, it does. I don't know why. Yeah, I think it does C# and some other language. I forgot what it was.
Also, do you want to set up that hazard right now because you can just slide across the floor there?
Sure, might as well.
I just keep noticing. I'm like, wait, we're just sliding. I think it's only because we didn't put that tile map in that scene. Cave 2. Yeah, so I think we just didn't put I think we have to put the collide event controller and stuff. Should we make? Nah, we can't make it a prefab.
Well, I did make it a prefab.
Oh, this guy.
Oh, crap. Hold on. We could just call it hazards. The only thing I didn't do was actually give it any, like, tiles,
which is actually pretty smart. So as soon as you draw the tiles, it'll figure itself out then.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we can do the same thing for ground tiles too later. Nice.
Ground tiles? Oh yeah. But that's gonna be a pain.
Yeah, I feel like it will.
I think there's an ad, by the way.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you. This guy said if you're not flipping the registers, all right. Well, I don't know if they can hear me, but if you're not flipping the registers in memory, you're not doing real code. If you're not stone carving your own punch cards, you're not doing real code.
Oh my god!
Taking it back to the 40s, 50s, 70s.
Wait, why don't I have a?
It's like the funniest thing I ever read in my life.
I will never punch a card for code. Do you hear me? Never. I wish we know. So how do we know when the ad is? Like, I wish we could see, even though we own the stream.
We just didn't figure it out yet. But I have an idea. When you're in the stream manager, it says like pre-roll has been disabled, which is an idea that the ad has.
Yeah, I've noticed that, but I wish I knew when it was, because I wonder if we're just talking and then they just come back in the middle of a sentence. It's all good though. It's all good.
Static simulated is trigger. How come I don't see the collider? Hold on, let me get out of the scene.
Sure, yeah, no worries.
And then let me try to go back in. And then let me click. Okay, there's the collider.
No, where do you see it? Yeah,
I think I did ground tiles. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Yep, that is the bane of
Oh, the ad is about to start now. I could snooze it if I want.
Let it go because we're just drawing some tiles, I guess.
Yeah, it's nothing too exciting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be an ad, guys. No problem. To let everyone know. I don't know if it's gonna be now or in 10 seconds or in now.
Change the channel, and then come back.
As if this is Combat Black. Oh, no. I'll come on that when we get back.
Wait,
okay, so there's no ad? Techno's like, bro, there's no ad. See, so
okay, there we go.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just wrong. I don't know. It told me your ad is about to start just now. So
yeah, so it doesn't tell us when. It just says it's about to start. It doesn't give us a countdown, and we've tried. We can't figure out where it is. We will figure it out though.
Twitch is being whack.
Yeah, we're just not. We're doing our best. But Lazy Leaf, no, I don't know if we're gonna be doing any Combat Black mechanics, but we might do Combat Block mechanics.
Okay.
I can't even add stream markers right now. Twitch is acting up right now.
Huh. It looks like I'm that's weird.
Not the combat black. Okay, the ad just started is what Lazy Leaf seems to be saying.
No problem.
Okay.
Respawning. I removing maybe I gotta do this.
So what are you trying for at the moment?
It says so. There's a point where I should be respawning, right? But like it should prevent me from falling.
Wait, there's no ad. Okay.
But I still call through.
We're gonna just keep. Okay, yeah. So wait, why doesn't that? Oh, because it's not doing the thing where it's despawning the player, right?
Yeah, because here I'm doing a fade out, but it seems like this is not happening soon enough. Like this enable gravity.
Got it. Okay.
It's I guess that's all I have to say about that.
I guess that's all, folks.
Hold on, let me address the ad thing 1 sec. If you are subscribed to our channel, you are not going to get an ad most of the time, I think. Sometimes if you're not subscribed, you won't or you will get an ad. So I don't know how Twitch works. Enjoy the show.
Yes. a few things. So to Nifihi, congrats on first time chat. As of right now, we don't do 3D as well. We've looked into it. There's nothing against it, but we are very much fans of the 2D Metroidvania style. Even if we have the depth in the game in terms of background and layers and like more dynamic view, the game as of right now is not going to be 3D. We aren't working in 3D at the moment.
But like, if you think of a game like Ori, didn't they use like 3D models in that game that were like converted to 2D? Or am I wrong about that?
No, I think you're correct.
Yeah.
Like they had a sort of a conversion flow thing.
Like I'm absolutely fascinated by the art and just the vibes of that game.
Word. And then for Royko, we're destroying your sleep cycle. Oh no, what time is it for you?
Word. What was I gonna look up?
Is it late?
Or maybe you just
there is something that Unreal Engine is doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like a different sort of tool that's built on top of Unreal Engine that makes it super easy to make 3D games based using their assets. A lot of your games are gonna look like Fortnite, to be honest, but it just makes it really easy to prototype it, you know, and have,
okay.
I forgot what it was called though. It rarely any code. It comes with like multiplayer type of stuff from the outset. I think I forgot what it's called. Unreal Engine.
Sorry, a few things in chat. So 2 a.m. for Royku. Wow, that is late. I don't
know what your sleep schedule is, but like if that's late for you, get some sleep.
or don't.
2 a.m. is late.
You don't have to listen to us. You could.
Yeah, you don't. But
also do your thing.
Chill with us if you want. We're down. Yes, like Bloodstained, how it's 3D but a 2D game, and then to Nifihi, yes, we plan to implement parallaxing. It's not right. It's not there at the moment, but as we make our art, we're gonna make it in very different layers. So we'll definitely be using the parallaxing so that there's this very good sense of depth as you move through the world. Things that are closer will move faster. Things that are farther will move slower, and it'll give the game a much more real feel. And I think it's rare that you're going to see a game these days without parallax because it just adds so much depth and like ambiance to the game so it feels like the real world. You know what I mean? So
yeah, so your physics is restricted to 2D, but there's 3D elements in the game, like due to depth perception and like the parallax scrolling and stuff like that.
And I forgot what it was called, but it's somewhere. It's somewhere.
All good.
And like there was this huge thing where like all these game dev streamers were sort of doing like an event with it. Like they were for like a month or so. They were building stuff using that.
I know what you're talking. I remember you sent that to us a while back.
Did I? Okay, cool. Oh yeah, I did send it. It's in our resources. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna go.
A while back, I think, or I don't know.
It's definitely in our resources because I brought it up as a sort of suggestion for something to try out. No, it's not here. Forget it. That's okay. Unless we have a different resource channel, we do. It's gonna silently do this. Nope, it's not here. But Unity just came out with this like their online game services like relays and lobbies.
Okay.
So that might be something
cool.
to play around.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt. Yeah. I think that's something cool to look into. But Royko just hit my like. Yes, I want like 8 layers of parallax in platformers. Like the depth, I love when it's more than just, so usually when I first started, I did 3, like foreground, middle ground, background. But after seeing more modern games and stuff, I'm like, who said 3 has to be the limit? We can have 8 parallax layers. We can have so much depth going into it. Yeah, it is great.
By the way, guys, all these concepts that we're talking about and the games that are being mentioned in chat, this is the stuff we're going to be talking about on Gaming Wednesdays, because we're definitely going to be playing a lot of indie platformers and Metroidvanias. So if you're new here today, we got some new followers today. We also game on Wednesdays, and we're mostly going to be playing, like I just said, indie platformers and Metroidvanias, and we're going to be just talking about them from a game developer perspective and just from a gamer, a fanboy perspective.
Yeah,
we love those games. We love those games, and we also want to promote them because we love them. So
sure.
So be sure to check them out. Yesterday we did something a little outside the box. We played Phasmophobia.
That was the time.
It was a co-op. It's a co-op ghost hunting game. It's an indie game, so we stuck with that, whole theme. It's not it's not a Metroidvania or a platformer, but we stuck with that. We wanted to give you guys some fun.
I had fun.
But in general, we're going to be playing, single player indie Metroidvania platformers and giving you guys like a view from game developers.
For sure.
So we do like this interaction in chat. It's very helpful, and it's giving us motivation that's going to work out.
Yeah, and it's also good to just see a range of people who are like, I know nothing about game dev, but I'm into it. Or we have a few people who are like, I write code, I do game dev as well. And again, if you don't know what we mean by parallaxing, did we explain that for anyone who might not know? It is an effect that you can have where you create the illusion of depth in a 2D world by putting layers behind each other that move at different rates. It might be hard to understand, it's easier to see, but it's more so just about like how if you think about how if you're walking, down the street, the things that are farther away aren't moving at the rate at the same rate as the buildings or cars that are passing you. Like that, things that are closer move faster to your perception than things far in the distance, and you can create a very cool effect in 2D games by using that knowledge and like moving the depth in a certain way. But anyway, yeah.
It's a visual aid is usually very helpful. I know, Alex, you're like smack in the middle of code. If you would be willing to pull up an example of parallax scrolling.
You know what? Keep doing what you're doing, Alex. I'll Google a example and just pop the link in so that instead of you having to find it, you can just like click the link.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good idea. Because this will be important to our game.
Yep.
Because we're definitely going to be putting it into our game. And we're going to be talking about it a lot. And yeah.
Yeah, it is super important. Again, it adds so much. It really, really does. Let me just find an example. Yep, this is fine enough.
Does that happen that happens in Cuphead, right?
It happens in yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I love the art in Cuphead.
Yeah, so I found out a crazy thing about Cuphead, actually. They, for the most part, they actually, I posted the link there, Alex, whenever you get the chance. Mm-hmm. They actually were able to, they hand drew almost everything, scanned it, and colored it in...
That's an image.
In a Photoshop? Oh, is it? Yeah, so can you, is it not opening like in a link? It should be a link. Yeah.
Oh, it's a GIF. Okay.
Yeah, it's a GIF. So if you...
Can you zoom in?
Can you
zoom in?
Oh, yeah, I can.
That's
yeah,
perfect.
So for everyone, if you see the players walking, the things that are closer, like the grass and the bushes behind them, are moving at a faster rate than the tall trees in the background, because that's how it looks in real life. Like you use these layers and you move them at different speeds relative to how fast the player is moving, and it creates this illusion like, okay, they're in a big world where things that are far move slowly, whereas when everything moves at the same rate, things can feel small and closed in.
Right, and that's just several layers of images that are just like moving like
at different rates.
That are just moving at different rates. This kind of.
Yep.
If you look really closely, you could see it happen.
Yeah, but yeah, that's it. You can go back to what you were doing, Alex.
I don't even know what I'm doing.
We'll get back with you in a second. We're just answering the rest of chat's questions.
No, that's fine. I'm personally, I'm starting the sort of basis for attacking, using the action stuff that I did before.
Okay.
I'm just trying to figure out like because really what's supposed to happen is supposed to set that parameter and then like unset it at some point, right? Like it's in an attacking state and then it's not.
Yeah, so it'll be similar to, not the exact same, but similar to how we handle the dash, in terms of just the idea where when you dash, you can't do another input. Like if you're attacking, you're committed to that till that animation ends, and then let's say you can either choose to you go back to moving and run away, or you maybe do a second attack, and you're committed to that action until it's done. We don't want players to be able to just completely interrupt their actions. They should have to commit to their action. So an attack finishes first, and then it stops. Maybe it's a similar thing to the dash, where it's disable their inputs while that thing is going. Once that's done, re-enable. But then the other thing that we have to figure out is hitboxes, because unlike everything else that we've had in the game where it has to do with movement, we usually let the player's whole body be a hitbox for them to get hurt.
Yeah. And
that's fine when they're attacking, but in terms of their sword should have its own hitbox. But again, we'll probably refactor that once we have new art where we can have the sword and the player be two different objects. Mm-hmm. Or when we figure out how to make different, I think you can make a smaller hitbox on top of the player and generate that only when they're attacking, right?
Kinda. Well, we could do it when the animation's happening. Hold on. Where's should we add the animation? We have one. Do we have one?
Yeah, we do. If you go to animation, but the pivots might be all goofed up, and you know how that goes. So I say go to scene view first and find some ground for the player or whatever.
Hold on. Let me just
no problem.
apply all these overrides.
Sure. No worries.
Yeah, apply all. And then we'll go over to sandbox.
So the question about what kind of art style do we want to do? Maybe.
Yeah, I can talk about
answer that question.
Sure. Yeah. So for the art style for our game, what we're looking for is, I don't know. I'm not gonna go so far as call it anime art style. It's not so anime-esque. If you look at Ender Lilies, again, it's not anything against them. It's just not what we're gonna do. But Ender Lilies has a very anime-esque type of art style for their main player, which
it's sort of clean, you know.
Yeah, exactly. It's very clean lines and style of drawing. It's anime-esque. I think we're going for somewhere in between the anime-esque and again, you could take a game like Hollow Knight, where again has clean lines, clean drawings, but there's a more
I guess it's also a realistic human.
Yeah.
The way to say it.
There is going to be some exaggerations and stuff like that, of course, but more realistic than generic anime style. But I don't know what the term for that. I guess you could call it comic style, but it's not. Again, it's in that range where comics look a little more real than your average manga, for example. But it's still stylized and not photoreal or anything like that.
You said I have to fix this.
Right.
The pivot. So yeah. So if you go here, so now go back to idle.
Where?
Or yeah. So. Oh wait, no. Actually, no. We can just adjust it. Sorry, ignore me, because we can see the collider. Yeah, it's supposed to be there. If you go to project and then art, player, sprites, individual sprites.
Art, player,
warrior, individual sprite, attack, top one, right? We're gonna have to do it for all of them. It's annoying, but you don't have to open it. You can just click on any of them, and let's go into the sprite editor and let's make it pixels, and the pivot will be custom.
Yeah, I think once I start moving it's custom.
Okay, all right. And I say put it. I think there's fine. Yeah, right at that line.
Right there.
And then let's just test it out. So the way you test it is hit apply, go back to the animation view, and click on player attack, and then hit play, and then go to just go to the first frame.
First frame.
And we'll see, and then like pause it and to go to the first frame and.
0.
Okay, that's perfect, right? Like the player's perfectly just on the bottom, right?
Yeah, and it looks like their whole.
So they're all good. So now that means we just need to copy the values from in the art. We copy the values from this. So go back into the sprite editor real quick, and we'll find out what is the pivot and pixel values.
28
by 17. So we have to just map that in all the other ones, and it's a bit tedious, but
it must be done.
It has to be done, yeah.
What was it? I already forgot what it was.
It's 28 by 17.
28 by 17?
Yeah.
Okay, I hope that is.
Yeah, like don't. From what I can tell, usually like just we may have to adjust it, but let's just do 28 by 17 for right now. Again, what's happening here, what we're doing right now, when it draws, I say do 28 by 17 anyway, just because it'll keep the sprites in the same place. We may have to adjust. I think you're right, but let's keep it the same for right now. But yeah, what's happening is the sprites will be in the wrong spot for certain animations because the way that this sprite sheet is made, the center, right now the game is using the true center of the box. So if you see in the sprite editor, there's lots of gray area space around the player. So the center is where it starts, but the player isn't taking up the whole space. So it finds the wrong like center point for the animation, and so the player gets offset. So we have to manually reset it. Ideally, and when we make our art, if we use sprite sheets, we probably won't, but if we do for some reason, we'll make it in such a way that we won't have to worry about the pivot because all the sprites will be the same size in a certain way where it just takes care of all that pivoty stuff. Now we may have to do a few things, but hopefully not.
Mm-hmm. One route we may take is what was it? I keep forgetting what I call it. I don't know why.
Yes, it is tedious work. Yes, this is usually it's not this tedious. But sorry, go ahead, Alex. What were you saying?
I'm trying to remember what it was.
It's 17.
No, not that. Rigging, sprite rigging.
Sprite rigging. Yes.
That might be sort of like a solution to all of this as well.
Yeah, well, we might.
You mean with the bones?
With bones with bones.
I have so we might do to avoid this pivot.
Wait, is that all? Let me make sure.
Yeah, no problem. Let me check something. Let me see if I can find a GIF.
Wasn't all of them.
Juan, do you say GIF because you're afraid of being criticized for saying GIF or GIF?
It's not afraid. I don't feel like dealing with it because I actually say both. I actually say GIF or GIF based on like the sentence that I'm saying, and then no matter what, everyone is like, "No, it's," and I'm like, "I'm not dealing with this."
It seems fine.
Yeah. Yep, that was good. Looks really good actually. And then I have there should be an attack 2. Go to attack 2 in the animations. I think I made it.
No, there is an attack 2.
Yeah, and this should be good. Okay, so this is off.
No, I didn't do it for all of them. I didn't do it.
Okay, yeah, got it. So if you just do it for the rest, then that should figure itself out too.
Can we do it on an atlas? What do you mean by that?
What a sprite atlas.
Sprite atlas.
I've heard of what it is. No, I know nothing of what it is. I've just heard the words said. But they're used for sprites in some sort of way that I don't understand yet.
Yeah, I do not know anything about.
Sprite Atlas is an asset that consolidates several textures into a single combined texture. Unity can call this single texture to issue a single draw call instead of multiple draw calls to access the packed textures all at once at a smaller performance overhead.
Okay, I think that, so does that get used with sprite rigging? Is that saying you use each of the parts to create one sprite effectively? Or am I misunderstanding?
I don't
know. Not sure, but we'll take a look.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
So it's right here where we want that box to appear, right?
Yeah, so we want it to be like over the sword, exactly. And then is attack too good
at this point?
At the moment? Yeah, so on frame, whatever that is, 5, because we don't necessarily want them
25 to 35. Really, that's when we want it to be out.
Sure, yeah. So for like a quick, what is that? From 25. So for 10 frames, which is 10th of a second, they'll be attacking. We can choose if we want that to linger more, but I think that you're right. I think that that's where it should start and where it should end. So it's not like one of those cheesy ones where like your sword is away, but you still have hitbox and you like walk into an enemy, you know?
So we could probably just, I don't know. Not a component.
No worries, Roiku. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate the follow, 100th follower. Like, shout out.
You're the MVP for the
MVP
stream.
For sure. Go get some rest. You know, I know that working on a manga in my head is a lot of work, so go take your time.
It's very impressive too.
That for
sure. We'll be sure to check out your streams.
Yep, for sure. We're
gonna give you a shout out once again because that's awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Thanks so much. Join us again. We appreciate it.
Hope to see you next week.
For sure.
Like right there.
So for Nifihi, yes, we do all frames of a character walking jump. Yeah. So this is a free asset that we found. This is a character that we have here, but and we probably won't be doing a sprite sheet. That's what I'm used to, but it comes with some caveats where you have to create an animation for every single thing, which isn't bad at all. But we're gonna try and just take a stab with sprite rigging, where you create individual pieces of a character. So let's say the head, the arms, the head, the shoulder, the bicep, the forearm, the hand, thigh, calf, foot, for example, right? And then what you can do is you can rig it like a 3D model effectively, and then you can apply animations to it. And so that means then instead of having to have one artist create all of the animations, they just need to create all of the parts once and maybe the different clothes once, instead of having to necessarily do the animation for like everything, and you can just apply an animation on top of that. That's the route that we're going to try and take. And again, I'm trying to find a GIF, but I'll just use this one. When you get the chance, Alex, I'm going to post, and I have just posted another link in the chat, and that link is of a game called Velocity 2X, and this game actually was made with a sprite rig. So if you see the actual sprite sheet, it's just like the player's head is disembodied, the arms are disembodied, and they created a rig and then applied animations to it, and it still looks really good.
Yeah, hold on.
Nice.
That's
a shoot 'em up. That's a shoot 'em up game. Like
it's
a platformer.
Yeah, it's like a platformer. It's very heavy on shooting. There's like a Galaga type style of shooting later in the game where like you enter a ship and stuff. But yeah,
is that an indie? Is that an indie game?
It is an indie game. Yeah, indie game. I got it on PS4 6 years ago.
Shall we play it on stream?
I'm down. I have no issue with that at all. It was a fun game. It's not a Metroidvania, but it is a fun indie game, and it's a fun platformer. I'm down.
We're like clearly not married to the idea of playing Metroidvanias.
Totally, yeah.
I was hunting a spirit yesterday, a ghost yesterday, and screeching, and people were betting on me screeching. So the way the apple crumbles, whatever the quote. I said the way the apple. Is that what I just said?
The way the apple crumbles. You heard it here first, y'all.
You heard it here first, folks.
How the apple crumbles. F.
We'll play Velocity 2X.
I could do it like this. Wait, did I? Is it? I never added. So here, player tech. I think we also need to add a player tag, right?
Probably, yeah. We'll probably want to know about the tag when we do that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So we have let's just call it player tag. Right. And then here in the where are the project settings here? I think I put it here. Silly reasons. I don't. I want it out. Okay, there we go. See if we can bring this window over. Time is it 7:34? Okay. Where are you? Physics 2D. Oh, I never edited this. Okay.
I have edited this before. It is a
Player tag,
very
we don't
fun.
want to that.
As in, like, player attack should not collide with player attack, right?
Yeah. Oh, we should have a player layer, right?
Oh, a layer just for the player. What is user layer 3? Is there a reason we like? I feel like I always avoid it in Unity because I'm like, why is it? It's weird. Why is it empty there? Yeah, I know, right?
You know, this should really be player. This should be player tag.
Sure. The superstitions of game devs. I'm not gonna use the user layer 3 ever.
Player tag. And then this is player. Just change for this object only, and then back to project settings where we can edit that. So of course, player will not collide with player attack, and player attack will not collide with
player attack.
And player.
Yeah. Player attacks and players should not interact with each other. The player can interact with a ground, a hazard. That's fine.
I'm not gonna worry too much about these things. The reason I wanna the only thing I'm gonna be most concerned about is like player and enemy relationships. The rest we can play around with later.
We could definitely play around with it. So, like, for example, we could leave on the one for ladder, because like it could be cool to, like, if you swing against the ladder, we can like have like a bang sound, like when you hit the ladder. Shing against the ladder. You know what I mean?
We'll do all those things.
Yeah, we'll do all that. And then for a Nifty, that's the one thing about rigs is that, like, I don't hate rigs. I think rigs are great. But again, the AAA games that do it really well have the people in mocap and they do all that kind of stuff in the suit that gets really good animations. The thing that happens in some games, not that it's like it's anyone's fault, just toggling limbs to make turns look good, make animations look good, is sometimes, because we're all human, like, unless you're like an animation pro, sometimes it can come off stiff, and that's what can happen when you use a rig. But then you can also, I think at least there's a way to find good like animation, like skeletons online, and you can just apply that onto your rig, and so it'll look pretty clean. The benefit of sprite sheets is that you can then have an animator create a very niche and to your design perfect animation, except it'll, again, you can't use that in other places. It'll just be
player attack something that could just happen from any state.
No, because you shouldn't be able to be sliding and then attack. You shouldn't be able to. There is a dash attack, but it's a separate animation actually. That's so true. It's not about that. If you're jumping, you can attack. If you're standing, you can attack. If you're running, you can attack. If you're jumping, you can attack.
Well, we could still control whether those are even on.
From any state, then that's fine.
Because like we could prevent them from attacking when they're dashing. Right? So
that's what we do right now anyway.
I think I'll just leave it to any state.
If we're talking about this specific attack, then yeah, we're pretty limited. But like,
unless we just make it off of ground, like grounded, like idle.
I say do it from any just because we can do it from falling, running, or jumping. So I think that's fine for right now. In the future,
and if we have a falling, like in air attack, we're gonna want to use a different animation.
Yeah, fair enough too. You make a very good point. Very
good. Because I'm just imagining all the different like combat combinations that Sotobel is gonna be able to do with the bow and arrow.
The bow and arrow. That's gonna be quite a thing to do.
Yes,
because we're gonna have to use like sort of like if we use the mouse, for example, to aim.
Did we tell chat that, by the way? Or was
I
that
think
just
so.
an internal discussion?
No, I think we mentioned sword.
We did on last stream.
Combat.
We did. We were like, yeah, that sounds a lot like a certain person in a green tunic, right?
Yeah, word.
Okay, yeah, we did. We did.
I think that, yeah, it'll be tough, or not tough, but we're gonna have to figure out how shooting works, because that's also one thing that I'm so unsure about, because you can use mouse to aim an arrow. I've never been the biggest fan of it, not because it's bad. It's just usually once my hands are both like on the keyboard, I'm so focused on the keyboard that using the mouse, sometimes I just don't think about it outside of menus. So we can do two things. We can have like a lock on type thing. So maybe you can lock onto enemies and shoot them in that way, so you don't have to necessarily aim. Or we can have it be in the simplest version, it's just like a shoot straight type arrow, where you're just like shoot in any direction. But again, there is the Metroid style of shooting, where it's like you can like lock yourself in place and like aim in any of the directions and shoot an arrow
I think that would
way.
be probably the most, like, the best.
Yeah,
you guys
you can create. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you guys like the mechanic from Metroid Dread?
Yeah, that's the stand. That's I think that works fine. It's a very clean, just stand still on point.
It was a little difficult to pick up on the Switch. Like, it was very hard to aim on the controller. But
you would think so? For me, I was okay with it, but I can understand that.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I just kind of suck, but like I picked up on it after some time. But it could work. It could work.
Got it. I understand.
We could do something like that, but with like a bow and arrow.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it's standard procedure, just like a stay still and aim type thing. Just follow a direction.
One of the things, and this might be something I do off stream, or we do off stream, is the whole like checking of states, stuff like that. Like whether this is okay to do at this point.
Yes, yes.
I'm definitely going to be moving it over here, like whether you can dash or whether you can do something like that. Like it'll probably be like a change state type of action.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
Or like multiple things happen, like the state changes, and then instead of having an animate action which directly does it here, just like how we're doing play controller, and we have it as like this type of events, like Unity events to send over to the animator on the editor side. I might move all of that into the state controller, and just make it more dynamic. Like
I get that. That makes sense. We'll have more control over like when you can or cannot do things. I think that works, and again, it'll also make this file. Yeah, for now, let's do it the easy way.
Let's just
and later it'll keep our code smaller.
That whole animate action is sort of like a work in progress there.
No worries.
So it'll
in development.
This might not even be an animate action. It might just be like a state change action, right?
Got it. Okay.
And it might
Makes
have
sense.
the logic here, like, okay, what states can if they are on cannot do its thing, like is this valid at any point, and then also what key this is associated with. And I think that's going to be like there's going to be some sort of like class or object that sort of resolves all of that.
Sure. Okay.
Which is also going to hold like unlockable stuff. Like can I even do this? Certain things have to be on.
Yeah, like if you don't have this ability yet, you can't do anything.
Exactly.
Yeah. It makes sense. Makes sense.
As I do this, I'm seeing more how it should be architected.
Or just designed. Yeah.
Design. Thank you. Architected.
Architected. What was I gonna say? I don't remember if I saw. I think I did. Did you create a second collider on the player attack animation?
Yeah. So this is the idea, right? There's a inactive object with just a box collider, and when you animate the attack, see it turns on and off. So
can you click on? You
can kind of see it.
Okay, got it.
Up. Right, and given we have the collide event controller that we could use.
Yeah, that's perfect.
We can sort of we'll probably have a system where the enemy, it's not the moment it enters it damages it. And it may even have its like brief animation, like a brief frame of damage.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just like how the player may.
Yeah,
but it'd be so small, just enough so that your attack doesn't hit twice.
I understand.
In this frame of like 25.
Yeah, where it'll like have a because
I mean, keep talking. I just got.
Yeah, it's no worries. But yeah, he makes a good point about having the enemy have a quick invincibility frame too, because what has been known to be used and is actually currently used right now in Breath of the Wild is there is a speedrun tactic where before you go into the final room of the game, before you walk into the Sanctum cutscene that triggers the Blight fights, if you shoot an arrow and go immediately into the cutscene, the arrow is stuck in midair, but the game doesn't deload it, and it doesn't give the boss a invincibility frame during the cutscene. So what happens is every frame the boss takes damage, and so as soon as the fight starts, it just dies because they forgot to put the invincibility on the.
It just keeps on taking damage. Is that what's happening?
Yep. So while the cutscene's playing and it's like spawning in and it's like raw, it's taking damage in the background in the code because they didn't give it any invincibility because they're like because in their heads they're like no one can attack this.
Wait,
enemy.
so are all the any percent like Breath of the Wild speedrunners using that? Like when was that discovered?
It's a more recent strat. Not everyone is using it. And I don't know if it's used in any percent because in any percent I think in any percent.
Well, any percent means that
I know you
anything flies, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if they're using it in any percent because I think it's tough to do.
It's tough. Usually, those types of things are tough, right?
Yeah, but it's probably going to start being used. Breath of the Wild speedruns have gone crazy in recent time. Anyway, so we have attack as X. Okay, yeah, so I think that's good. So X is attack, C is dash, V is fly.
Let's do get key down.
Because get key down means only when you press it, not if you're holding it, right?
Yeah. For now, I'm sure we're gonna have like a way to like manage the rate at which you can do it. Like, that'll be a part of it, right? Like an interval.
Yeah, exactly. The same way we have the refresh.
But for now, for now, always the for now. I'm getting more comfortable with just like adding stuff in, and then like after the stream, just like refactoring.
Because again, we don't have it all work together on stream, so we can get something that works and then just tweak it where we need to make it more clean and everything like that. I think that's totally fine.
And for anyone who's watching who's not like a developer, that's just like naturally just how development works. You don't just like come up with an idea and it's done in 2 hours. You are always refactoring, which means you're always like making modifications and improving over time.
Yep.
So it's not magic, like something like Facebook isn't magic, like it's
wish it was.
We wish it was.
Not Facebook. I'm talking about.
Yeah. So
just like
coding in general.
Yeah.
Takes constant modification and improvement and refactoring and code review and testing and code review and some crying.
Yeah. Lots and lots of crying. No,
But you know what? You if you're a game developer, definitely check out like, the game development community on Twitter. Like there's so many out there that just struggling with this, dealing with this kind of stuff.
Can we attack? Oh,
but also,
attack.
But also, we're not trying to make it sound
because
like it's tough or gruesome. We're just try to be funny.
It's like anything else. It's like I mean, it's true. It's like trying to be good at soccer. There's going to be some crying because you got to get good at taking the shit.
If you want to learn how to be good at anything, it's going to suck in the beginning, and you're like, if you want to be very good at anything, you're going to feel bad in the beginning. Like when I first picked up a guitar, I was like, in the beginning, I was like, I want to be Van Halen. That was very unrealistic. I'm still not even close to Van Halen. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty good now. And it's been like 10 years. It's been like 10 years,
Yeah.
But in the very beginning, I was absolute trash and I was upset at myself for like a few years. But it takes a while. It's the same with programming.
Yeah.
It's not that hard if you practice.
Nice. We got
so here's what I did, right? Well,
I saw you put the exit time so that it would let the animation complete.
Exactly. So it's not based on like the true or false value.
Yeah,
anymore.
Which is good.
So you couldn't like try it again, right? It's not gonna transition into itself,
which is good.
And yeah, like you cannot avoid it. We may have to have something that interrupts it though. Like, well, yeah, of course. You know, it could be interrupted by any other. Like, it's still a state, so any other state.
Yeah.
Like, if you get damaged, you can get interrupted by it.
Yeah, if someone shoots an arrow at you when you're attacking, you're gonna take damage. So, yeah, but that's cool that we have an attack.
We don't have an enemy, but we can just create like a simple thing that should disappear the moment it strikes, right?
Sure. Yeah, you could just throw on some random sprite on it or anything, and that's fine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
And that'll be good because it's 7:49. So if we can get that done, we can get it clean. We can kill something by the end of this stream.
Yeah, Square, the classic.
By the way, we do have to figure out this ad thing because it just said there's gonna be another one shortly.
Okay, all right.
So we have to figure that out. We got to figure that out, which is weird.
We'll figure it out.
So,
it's very weird.
is that supposed to be? That's supposed to be an enemy?
Yeah.
That's the enemy.
You see, guys, this is the game. You
can't tell. It's red and square.
You can't tell this is the enemies in our game. It's just a square. That's the final game. That's the final boss. It's just a red square. It's just a red. It's just a red square.
It's super meta. It actually represents the confines of human thinking. No, it turns into some Final Fantasy stuff where it goes super God mode and everything.
Hold on. I made a thing for this. Where is?
You made a what
thing for this?
I made a thing.
Wait for like an enemy AI.
No.
Oh, I was like, what?
Like, you cannot destroy things. You can't call the destroy function from like the this thing because it takes 2 parameters. Even the regular one, it actually takes 2 parameters.
Okay.
It's just like an optional parameter, right? Which is
time, I gotcha.
Right. So I have my asset manager release reference function, which is meant for like asset references, but also has like you can also use it to destroy objects.
To destroy stuff. Yeah, okay. So, let's try and kill this square. Murder is the way.
I can't.
Oh, we can kill the square. The square is omnipotent, immortal.
Oh, no.
The final boss should just be like an omnipotent square. That's it.
What we should do is have a secret boss that is just like an omnipotent square, or like a brick.
No,
that's what we gotta do.
No, I totally forgot. Hold on.
A brick. Oh dang! Yeah, confirmed. Brick enemy. For those of y'all who know me,
nope.
you know the bricks are gonna be OP, or it could be a weapon like the super secret most OP weapon in the game that you have to like legit use cheats for or something. Is like screw a sword. You just like hit people with bricks, max damage.
Nah, the most OP.
That's why.
The most OP thing or item or boss.
There we go.
In this game is going to be.
We killed the square.
It's going to be Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh is public domain.
Winnie the Pooh is public domain. Winnie the Pooh is going to be in our game.
I mean, they can't copyright us, so we could legit have.
We're gonna have a giant bear that could throw some type of honey at you and slow you down. You heard it here now.
It's like acid honey, but no worries. But yes, so we're able to kill the square now. So that's pretty good. So now we have again, it didn't do damage right now, but it can. The box collider is taking effect. The collider of the sword is working, and that's really good to know because now we can do stuff like create enemy AI and deal with damage that the player can take and damage that the player can deal. And now that'll just be more fun as we start to build up this game instead of just always like running back and forth doing just platforming. We can run around, do platforming, and kill things.
Wait,
and that's important.
I got caught in the joke. What did we establish with the square?
Oh, we can kill it. So once Alex gets back and you play, you can.
I don't know if the ad played while we were making that joke or describing this. So
I have no idea, but hopefully there's no ad now as we have 7 minutes left in stream. Alex, show them again how we kill these squares.
Oh yeah, just
yeah,
just
we
give
kill
them
the squares.
what they want, right?
Boom.
Just like that.
Oh, that's clean.
Murder. Yeah,
That's
clean.
clean.
Yep.
Murdered.
That's great. I
Yeah,
love that.
it's very good. So
and-
as I was saying, yeah, go ahead.
No, it's just that it's all based on the animation,
Yep.
rather than some like weird logic. Just trigger the animation, and make sure the colliders are there, and everything sort of falls into place.
I think that's even better.
I have a question. Is it just like the right edge of like the animation, or is
no,
it following like the whole thing?
No, it's
Nah.
not. It's just like a part. But I think if we create a polygon collider, we could totally.
Yeah,
like,
we can do a
Right,
polygon
that's-
collider.
Okay.
But I
okay,
don't
'cause
think we really need to go that far.
No,
Right.
but I think we should make it so that it feels real. Where like, each frame has not a different hitbox, but like it's wide enough to cover the arc. But
yeah, I think we
otherwise,
should. I think we.
yeah. I don't think we need the polygon collider necessarily, just because I know that polygon colliders can get a bit heavy on resources.
Yeah, that's true.
Well-
But like, if we have a like a sword attack like that.
Yeah,
that's
so I'm
all.
saying like, yeah, so maybe we can make the box a tiny bit wider and maybe a bit taller, maybe. Only
mean,
just
Yeah, that's
because-
acceptable though. That's acceptable though.
Yeah. And again, we will adjust it as new art comes in and stuff. But yeah, this is good to me.
Yeah, I mean, this is just the general flow, though. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
we'll definitely have like another collider just for attack number 2. You know,
Yep.
most of the time they'll be inactive until they are active.
Sure.
Yeah,
Makes
and it's pretty much all it's gonna do.
Mhm.
And of course, you know, just like we had a collide event thing, the collide event controller just destroy the whole object. We would just you
Yeah.
know attach a state controller, manage its health, and just
Yep, exactly that. Exactly.
It
Because
really
each-
we may have to do some like playing around, see like if we can like you know the whole damage thing,
yeah.
but that might depend on sort of global variables as well. You know, like more.
Yep, makes
You know,
sense.
we don't have to like move over. Hey, like this is how much you know, like as I collide, I'm gonna send over information or anything like that, or try to pull that out. We just
Yep.
have it as a global variable. The enemies could be looking at that. You
Cool.
know, and say like
Yeah.
this is how much you know it's gonna affect me. But I think we'll figure it out.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
like really whatever the best flow is. Especially
Yeah.
when developing and especially when creating more of these, how easy it is to
Mhm.
create them is super important.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're gonna be doing this a lot. So if it's not easy, it's not good.
Yeah.
I noticed the player's box collider stays in the same place, or capsule collider. So like,
Oh yeah, that's maybe something we should.
again, yeah, we'll adjust that later. But I don't think it's anything so crazy. But
we should take
like,
note of it. We should take note of it though.
Yeah, I'll write down a note. But I think we can end stream here. I mean, I think we got the attack. So that's really good.
Mhm.
Anything else that we're missing?
So just to review, we started off by setting the room spawn as a soft checkpoint.
Which is
On the
very good
load-in.
idea.
yeah,
Load in.
mhm.
Yeah, that was a pretty good idea. We brainstormed our health system, even though it was kind of confusing. We got a lot of input from chat, which was great.
Yeah.
We reached our 100 follower goal.
Hey,
Yeah,
101,
The best.
You know,
Y'all are
we
awesome.
hit
101 followers. Thanks so much, y'all.
101. And we brainstormed we brainstormed other ideas branched off of that, which is nice.
Yep.
Yeah, and yeah, we
got-
added the player attack here.
We kill squares. We
You can kill squares.
You can kill squares. You spawn in
Show
the
it
right
again.
places.
I'll do it again right now.
Show it again.
We could kill squares.
You
We
kill
can-
squares.
We also spawn in the right place when you fall and die.
Well,
Yep.
not here, but
Not here, but you know, in the other scenes. But yeah, so we definitely got a lot done though. So that's good to see.
Yeah, we've also
and next
discussed
week-
some games that we might want to
show on stream.
play on stream. We talked a little bit about parallax scrolling and what that is. Described it for some people that don't understand. We got some pretty good input from some new followers, some new
Yep.
visitors on
For
stream
sure.
that we really appreciated. Thank you for joining us.
you know
Yep.
you know what we could do at some point. I don't know, like definitely like if off stream as well. Like we're learning a whole lot when we do this. A lot of this stuff is new. Even what I just did, I just sort of did on the fly. I've actually never done a sort of like a full on like attack in this way. So feel free to ask questions off stream. Like reach out to us if you want. I don't know how best to reach out to us, but just find out, and then next week we'll try to make it easier for you.
We'll figure it out and come back to you all with the way to contact us if you have any questions. But check us out next Wednesday. We'll be playing another game on stream. It's yet to be revealed, but we will reveal that. If you don't follow us, go ahead and follow us on Instagram and Twitter. We'll be posting about what we'll be playing. And then again next Thursday as well, we'll be back here again doing more game development. Might work with AI, might work with the system. We'll definitely hammer out the health system so people aren't confused. We'll have a clean, easy way. I might even draw a little diagram so it's just very easy for everyone to understand. But again, thank you all for joining us. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the follows. We hit our goal, and we're only going up from here. So
I got one more thing.
Else. Yeah, go ahead.
We haven't fully fleshed this out yet, but based on the reactions from yesterday's first gaming stream, we may be opening up a Discord with roles so that people can join our community and talk to us more often and be able to, make clips of our streams, share memes, and just be able to talk to us more one-on-one if you have development questions.
Yep.
And you'll be able to talk to us more one-on-one, have more interactions, and it'll open up the floor for maybe more playing with viewer type of situations. And
because that was cool yesterday.
We may even look into having some people on stream just to talk about game development.
Yeah, we'll brainstorm it and we'll definitely come back to
the options. The options are endless. So
for sure.
With that being said, we'll see you next week for Gaming Wednesdays. Check our social media. We will tell you what game we're going to play.
Yeah, and so look forward to it.
Yeah, and then next Thursday for some game dev.
Yep, cool. All right, so with that, I'm signing off. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for joining us. I appreciate all the support.
BK Game Devs, we're out.
Have a good night, guys.
Peace out.
Good night.